Okay, so today is my first day of striking out with Kombi. Kombi is a little, there's one going the other way, but it's let's say something like a 12 passenger van, about that size. And it'll hold more than 12 passengers, I'm sure. But anyway, I just had the housekeeper, I didn't have her bring me out, but she needed to bring me out. So I knew this is where I was going to be. I just would have been on the wrong side of the street to catch the bus. I would have been going in the wrong direction, but el conductor would have gotten me on the right side. So at any rate, when a Kombi comes along, I'll just put my arm out and ask him to stop, and she assures me we don't need bus stops here either, just like we don't in other cities. So let's see how the experience goes. Where am I going? I'm going to the commercial district, I guess, of Zihuatanejo. So Zihuatanejo is the city, and there are lots of subdivisions in the city, and the fraccionamiento that I live in is in the area they call Ixtapa. It's the what do I want to say? So Punta Cana, I didn't know Ixtapa before 2 years ago. Punta Cana is not the name of a city, it's the name of a tourist trap. But it's that area of the Dominican Republic, and they call it Punta Cana. So that's a destination, but it's a tourist destination for people. And so Ixtapa is likewise here in Mexico. And I don't know if Cancun probably is similar. It's probably not the city of Cancun. So anyway, here is the city of Zihuatanejo, and I am in La Zona Hoteleria. And now I'm going off to Zihuatanejo for 17 pesos, or less than $1.50 Canadian. And I'm just going to check it all out. I got a list of things that I would like to buy one day, and so I'll find out where I can find these things. And I will most definitely be coming home with a bottle or two of dark red wine, deep red wine, Shiraz, ideally, but we'll see. I know a few others in Latin America that will work. I'll find like health products store to get some Himalayan salt if I can't find Celtic salt, and I'm sure I won't be able to, but you never know. Here comes un Kombi. Okay, so I'm just gonna have you keep on hanging on until I can turn it around and show you el Kombi que viene. So I'm putting my arm out so he'll know that I am wanting him to stop for me, and I'm going to give him 17 pesos. Look at that, and he's stopping for me. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so hang on. Hola, buenas tardes. So I just have to capture this before I forget it. So we were sitting in some traffic that wasn't moving, right? Like 3 different lanes coming into it. Anyway, we just saw it, and it didn't move, and then this guy in a vehicle just beside us and slightly behind us got out of his truck, and I have no idea what he said. He was happy, but I have no idea what he said, and as soon as he did that, the traffic started moving. So I said to everybody in the bus, look, he got out of his car, and now the traffic moves. And that's an example of where we put our focus, we get results. We get results. If we put our focus on complaining about something, complaining about the situation of the traffic or whatever, we'll have more of it. But I have no idea what he said, but it was just lovely energy, and it was kind of like he's saying, like, what's happening? Why are we not moving? Something like that. I couldn't hear him. And then we moved immediately. So, of course, I announced that to everybody in the bus, more to myself than them, but they looked at me and went, oh yeah, that's true. Yes, love these experiences. And I love sharing them with you. Okay, so now I think we're going to get into more interesting videos for the people who are watching this. So I came to Zihuatanejo, which is a commercial center point, and I asked to get off in El Centro. I came here, and I walked a few. So these are the, normal tiendas. And I walked up a few doors, and I saw Naturista. So that's natural products store sort of thing. And I find that here in Mexico they have a lot of natural products too. And anyway, I talked to the fellow, Victor. Thank you for remembering. Adelante, gracias. I talked to the guy in the store and asked him about Himalayan salt. He goes in his computer and he says, we do have it, but not right here in our other location. If you can wait 10 minutes, we'll bring it down for you. And I said, well, actually, I just meandering, and I didn't say that in Spanish. I don't know how to say meandering, but I want to see what all is here, and I'm walking around. So I would prefer to go there. Can you give me directions? And so he's telling me, and he's telling me about a particular store, Optima. Tienda que se llama Optima. And, yeah, okay, thanks, guys, for honking. So anyway, he said, well, here, let me draw you a map. And so we did. So here is an old-fashioned map telling me where to go. So I already understood. Down at the traffic light, semáforo, turn left, and he's good at his directions. Not everyone is. And he said, a la izquierda, okay. When he gave me the map, I saw, yeah, it really was a la izquierda. But also because I put the hand out telling you in which direction you're going, like we do. But a lot of times they make mistakes. So, at the lights where I am right now, I'm going to be turning to the left. Gracias. I had an accident with someone turning when he shouldn't have been, so I'm extra uber cautious at corners and wherever. I don't like to cross a street at a corner. I prefer to cross a street in the middle where I can see from both directions whether or not something is coming. Okay, so this is a part of the experience, and he was going to have it delivered to me. Oh yeah, and then there was a young man who dropped off a big box of stuff and was taking a big box with him, and he said, I'm going there right now, do you want to come with me? And I said, thank you so much, but I really want to explore the city and see what's here so that I can see where to come, where to go and to get the things I need. Yeah, okay, yeah, great. So this is when the guy gave me the map that I have in hand. And they're just so helpful. And I find that everywhere I've been in the world, the people are just so helpful. I've been to Togo in West Africa. Few white people go there. And if they do, they're German and they're buying up all the property. Not dissing them, but, that's what people do. Down here, it's Americans and Canadians who are buying up all the property, so whatever. Anyway, so I have found in every developing nation I've been in, they are so friendly. Sadly, I was parking my car one day in Montreal, the city of Montreal, the east side, which means only French speaking. And in Montreal, you get like $75 parking tickets, like you do in Toronto. And I didn't want a parking ticket. I was going to see my osteopath, and she had an office in her home, and I'm just looking around, you get surprises all the time in Montreal when it comes to parking, where you can and where you cannot, and at times of day and all that. So anyway, I just asked this guy, he's not going by on his bike, he's just coming to his home or whatever, and I asked him, and I spoke in French, but he could hear my English accent. He was so fucking rude to me, it was crazy, like, can you not read the signs, that sort of thing. It's like, I'm not seeing a sign. Well, then that means, I said, not always. Just because there's no sign, that does not mean you're not going to get a ticket. But anyway, so I just find that in developing nations, the people are so much happier to serve you. And the guy's not getting any money. For all he knows, I go out the door, and he's an employee anyway, but go out the door, and I may never get to that next store. I may get distracted, squirrel, and not get there. But anyway, I just want to say that if ever you're thinking about traveling alone, sure, pick up the language, even just bit by bit. They love you for the effort you make. And this really bothers me. He's calling me guarita, which means white girl. He's sitting there asking for money. They used to do that in Canada. I haven't seen it in a long time, but anyway. No, I won't. You know what? And I said to a woman in Belgium, look at how many subjects I can get into in a flash, but I said to a woman in Belgium who's doing that, really, like, do you need money and all that stuff? And I said, come to my house, clean my apartment for me, and I will be happy to pay you. Oh, no. Okay, well then, honey, stand here with your hand out. It's not going to be filled by me. So anyway, back to what I was saying. The people are just so helpful, incredibly helpful. So if you just learn a little bit of their language and show them, I'm here. This is El Mercado. Can you see the sign? I don't know if you can see the sign. Let me see. Maybe you can see the sign that says, Zihua, Ciudad de Todos, avanzamos juntos, Mercado Municipal. And so from here, I'm going to go there. Okay, I'm going to have to look at my map to find out exactly where I'm going. I thought it was over there. Yeah, because I'm going to be coming in from there. Might be the next street down. Let's go to the other side of El Mercado. It might be that block. So when you show to them, not necessarily in Canada, but when, and yes, it used to be that way in Canada. It used to be. It's just the east side of Montreal is different because Montreal was an English city and they've been programmed for hundreds of years to despise anybody with an English accent, and some of them still have that programming. So anyway, no, gracias. Yeah, I think this is the block I want to go into. So at any rate, just learn their language. You'll learn it more and more the more you speak it and the more effort you put into it. But at least they see that you're making an effort and they will bend over backwards for you. And I mean, yep, there it is. Optima. And they will bend over backwards for you, I can assure you. If you have the right energy. Yeah, I got to be careful with that one. I can't assure everybody that they will just because you're learning their language. You have to have beautiful energy. You have to have high vibrational energy. You have to have loving energy, and you just do. You have to love every experience you're having. So I'm going down that way. You have to love every experience. I need my head on a swivel. You have to love every experience you're having. Even when, my hostess asked me the other day, so, when our brother-in-law died so suddenly, like in the story she was telling me, you mean that's not a bad experience? Nothing is bad unless we say it is. Nothing is good unless we say it is. And so, every experience, just accept it as nothing more than an experience. And love it. And say, okay, I choose never to have that experience again. Or whatever. Yeah, it's penultimo. The second last. So, I'm about here. Thank you for listening. And if I can be of any help or inspiration to anybody when it comes to traveling alone, it's my pleasure. I should have kept recording, but anyway, in just 3-4 more doors, there it is, Santo Remedio. I found it just like his instructions told me and showed me. I would be remiss if I didn't show you a little bit of El Mercado. So I came in here and I got some guayabas because that's the only fruit we do not yet have in the house. My hostess went out yesterday and bought a shitload of fruit for me because I don't eat food. I mean, I do. I eat one meal a day. And so she knows that I like fruit because I've been buying it myself. And so she went out and bought a crap load of it. That's great. And I just thought I wanted to buy something in here. So I got some guayabas, but I'm actually looking for grenadillas chinas. And they don't even come from China. They don't even grow in China, but that's what they call them. But I call them grenadillas amarillas. And she said, the woman from whom I bought the guayabas, she said that I'm going to get them from people on the street. I doubt it, but we'll see. And behind El Mercado. So we shall see. So this is outside. This is a part outside too, but this is for meat and everything. Delicatessen. Agua. They call it agua, but of different flavors. So litro de agua, vaso chico, bolsa. They call it They call it water, but it's all different flavors of water. When I was in Acapulco, they're selling it on the beach too, but this one woman from close by said, "Oh, don't ever buy that agua from them. You know, they're just using tap water. They're not careful. So make sure you always buy your water in a bottle from a store." And I said, "Oh, good to know. Thank you." And it is possible. But look at, they have some beautiful strawberries. Oh, fresh fish, yes. There are grains too. I don't think I need any. Well, I certainly don't. I can't cook them I can, but I think it would be insulting if I cooked my own food there. But I would do that for a steak because they don't eat steak, and we talked about it one day. And they laughed and said, the husband laughed and said, "Oh, I think we're going to have to let Lynn do the cooking, and we're going to eat her way instead of our way." I said, "Oh, Lynn doesn't like to do too much cooking." Sí, hay granadas, pero granadas rojas I don't like. They are, what do we call them? Pomegranates. Holy crap, they're so sour for me. I cannot eat them. They're less sour here, but they're still so sour. No, I need green, yellow ones. Granadas amarillas. Okay. Okay, so I shall let you go. Another moment in the market. And it's so much easier to get around out here because I am perspiring like crazy, and out here at least there's a little bit of movement of air, just a little bit, but some. Okay, catch you later. I came in from outside just to get un licuado. It's a smoothie, and I have to first check to see if they have it with almond milk. But it was the music that caught my attention and attracted me to this place. So that's very smart, eh? And these people don't get paid by the restaurant. They get tips from people who are enjoying their music. So very smart for restaurants to let good players come in. Because sometimes they're not so good, and that doesn't attract people to come in. Anyway, yeah, so here I go to check out los licuados para ver si hay leche de amanda. I think that's what you say, almond. We'll see. So I struck out there for los licuados because they only have soya, but then she said, like they only have soya to put in it. And I know that soy is not great. It's too many hormones for women. But anyway, they've taught us all a bunch of bullshit. So that's okay. I'm not holding that against her. She learned it too. And I said that I wanted leche de almendra, I think, almendra. And she said, "Oh, you can go buy that, and then I'll make it." And I went, okay, I could do that. Gracias. I could do that. And then I said, "Well, which fruits do you have to put in it?" Only plátano did I love that she had. So, and she's going to add vegetables. And it's like, yeah, okay, no, another day maybe. Well, which ones do you like? And I told her mangoes, plátanos, fresas, but she doesn't have them, so that's okay. Otro día. Okay, another experience to record. So I was coming across the street here because now I've seen a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to go buy some oils and wine that I want, and then make my way back. I just didn't want to carry those heavy things around. And this older looking fellow was speaking to me and kind of like saying like don't hesitate, you gotta go to get by here, you might get run over, that sort of thing. And he was saying it in his broken English, and so I looked at him and smiled and that sort of thing, and I don't know, I said something, I suppose, and then he asked me, "Are you Canadian?" And I said, "I am." And then he said something about Americans that I couldn't understand, and so I asked him in Spanish, "What was that you said about Los Americanos?" And he said, "They won't speak to us." I said, "Oh, so that's why you guessed correctly that I'm Canadian?" He said, "Claro que sí." That's sad, but he wouldn't say it if it weren't the truth. So anyway, I am happy I'm happy to have been raised in the old-fashioned Canadian way. Very happy to be raised that way, where we do have that culture. Anyway, so just of note for any Americans, and I have many American friends, girlfriends and male friends. And it doesn't apply to everybody, but it applies to enough that it is the culture. And I've been around the world and I've heard the same thing everywhere I was. So if you are an American and you're traveling alone, don't try to be a Canadian. Just be a friendly American. And, because, when I was in Korea, I was on a bus after the plane, the little bus that takes us from the tarmac into the airport in Korea. And I had this big, full backpack. And it had flags on it. I don't even know where that backpack is anymore. But anyway, it had little flags on it. And I heard people talking with accents, European accents, and I heard somebody say, I wonder if... Oh, it was in French. Yeah, because I understood it. They didn't think I would know it. But anyway, I wonder if those flags are real or if she's just wearing them to protect herself. And I looked around, couldn't see who said it, but I, hoisted my backpack on my back. And I said, this backpack, in French, this backpack, these flags, they're mine. I'm from Canada and I've traveled a bit. That's all. And then everybody was like, oh, okay. So, it's unfortunate, but it is something that has been taught to some Americans. When I lived in Korea, no, that was Korea. When I lived in Belgium, that's when 9/11 happened, when I was in Belgium. And then when I came back home, one of my friends said, Lynn, you're never going to believe it. He worked in a big American company, a global company, but the head office was in the States. And he worked there, and he said, I have to show you some of the package we've been given to protect ourselves. Well, anyway, so it had all these things. How to speak Canadian was one of them. Yep, exactly. So whatever, it's that sort of thing. And I know that a lot of people, not post 9/11, pre 9/11, who would put a Canadian flag on their stuff. That's why this came about when I was in Korea, and that was pre 9/11. So, I don't want to go on too much about this, but hey, I want everybody to be safe. So, this is a way to protect yourself, is just be open-hearted, open-minded, and friendly. And even if it goes against your culture, try to change the culture. Certainly, I am not 100% Canadian. With all the traveling I've done, I've picked up other cultures, and so many Canadians say, oh my God, I don't know how you could travel alone. Well, it's because I have a lot of faith in myself. A lot of faith that everything is always working out for me. And a lot of faith that God is always there protecting me. Okay, it was a heavy one, but it needed to be said because, the experience came to me. So it's God giving me an opportunity to give the messages that I'm meant to give. Okay, on that note, go forth and prosper. Let's get our energy back up and get happy again. Go forth and prosper and have a ton of fun doing it. I'm looking for the wine store, and look what I happened upon. May it be open. Yes. This is the first time I've seen una taquería, los tacos, aquí en Zihuatanejo. Y la cava es enfrente. That has to be a sign. I'm sure I will find something in here. I'm sure of it. Yeah, down here on the bottom, I can see them calling my name. This is such a cool way to tell people the age of the wine. And of course, it goes up accordingly. The investment goes up accordingly, but that's so cool. Okay, so I think I may be running out of space, and we'll try this again. So anyway, for 30 minutes I've been walking with a backpack full of Himalayan salt, 2 things of oil, a box of dark chocolate, 100% dark chocolate from Mexico, plus 2 bottles of wine, and it's heavy, but that's fine. So it says 16 minutes to get to this restaurant where this woman who helped me find those other things and sold me the chocolate, she said, you go out here and it's just straight, 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 straight. So this restaurant is called Restaurant Annie con tamales. And this is what I'm looking for, is tamales. And I think I've been there before. I described it to her. She said, oh, yeah, this is the one. So she said, just go straight, straight. Well, I get out, and it's like, straight where? On which street? By the time I got out of there, because it wasn't straight ahead to get out there. So I pulled it up, and yeah, Jesus, I walked from here. So anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, yeah, she said, so that's where to go. So I get out, and I ask Google Maps. And Google Maps found it. Yep, it says Annie de Tamales. And they said 16 minutes walking. Okay, this is a very heavy backpack, but that's fine. I can do 16 minutes. I do it all the time. Well, 30 minutes. I ended up first where I followed Google. It took me to the sports arena place. And right across from it is Bubbles. You know, that silly Bubbles tea. And anyway, so then this guy says, oh, no, the La Gardienne. So he says, no, it's not here. It's like downtown. And you have to go down to this cable place and turn left, and it's down there. Okay. So I do that, and look, there's Optima. I was just here, but I had a good walk. I saw what's around. So, and El Mercado is just there. So he said, go there, and so then I did, and I went down, and I stopped, and I asked somebody when I got on to like the main street, so where is it? She said, oh, that's in El Centro. And she said, kind of cerca del Mercado. No way. I was just there. No freaking way. So anyway, what am I going to do? And I said, so where else can I eat? And she said, so then I see a taxi, and I said, okay, get in the taxi. How much will it cost me to go there? 50 pesos. I don't know if that's like, I don't know, $4 or $5 to get here, whatever. Yep, okay, let's go, vámonos. And my God, if it isn't like right where I was, where I walked away from. But anyway, what a long story, and it's just comical. But I got a good lot of exercise, and I was in una burra with a big heavy backpack, full. And so now I'm having una Bohemia. I prefer Victoria, but this is a much prettier bottle, if you can see it. Isn't that awesome? It's a much prettier bottle, but Victoria tastes better. And it has a history in our family, too. I'll tell you one day, undoubtedly. And so anyway, this is an order of tamales. I thought I might be getting just one because it mentioned, get one. But anyway, that's fine. So it's 3 tamales. And I also ordered a small serving of pozole verde. Oh, God, I love pozole. And he gave me a little taste test. There's a picture of it here. The teeny little bowl for a taste test. It was fantastic. He thought it would be too spicy for me. I said, by the way, no pica de nada. So anyway, I said I want 2 fish, not fish tacos, but camarones. Anyway, tacos de camarones. I want 2 of them instead of 4. Is that possible? Yes, it is. I said, okay, well, after I have this, we'll see. If I want another tamal, and my God, he must be thinking, another order of tamales? No, so I won't. But I would still have probably 2 tacos, shrimp, 2 shrimp tacos. It's a great, oh my God, the things they have in the menu. I could have showed you the things they have. They've got everything under the sun, and that's why I need so many dishes. I'm going to get 3 dishes already, and they have steak. But anyway, that's for another day. Now I know where it is. Not the restaurant I thought it was. I still want to get to that one, but this is a gem. I have found a gem. Thank you, God. No, by golly, it is just 1 tamal. This thing is gigantic. I thought it was 3 small ones, an order of tamales, but it is just 1. Holy Hannah. Yep. So it's 80 pesos for 1 I saw, and maybe a little bit more because it's different or something like that, but nothing for the quantity. And in my home, I would be, after opening it all the way, this is a banana leaf, I imagine, and it has salsa verde and pollo adentro. And in my home, I would be adding 1 egg or 2, 1 egg normally, because this is a big one. So I'd be adding 1 egg on top, with a couple of strips of bacon on the side. And that would be a breakfast that would last until, well, it would last all day long, and I still wouldn't be too hungry for dinner. And now he just brought the small order of pozole, and look at what else it comes with. And there was a big chunk of avocado here that my body cannot tolerate. Wow, that's not a pretty picture when I eat even just a little bit of it. So anyway, I wanted fish tacos, but I don't think that's gonna fit. Anyway, but there's my beautiful Bohemia. I'm sipping away slowly and surely. Go forth and prosper and have a heck of a lot of fun doing it. Until next time, hasta luego.